nationality diverse.
Yeah, like this picture I just posted.
It's all Americans.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I thought it was like international.
Exactly.
I don't want to take too much of your time.
Exactly.
I think share probably a lot of the same mission architecture in terms of Oscar Matthews. So PhD candidate at Old Dominion University. I partnered with NASA Langley on basically space radiation research. But I also do 3D printing and additive manufacturing for the Navy.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm in Mars One, so full disclosure.
Okay.
But, you know,
It's fun.
well, it is fun. It actually is fun.
It's worth doing because it's fun.
Right. And it's worth doing because I think it's technically possible, just like your plan is technically possible. And they're not mutually exclusive.
My biggest criticism of Mars One is no one's going to give billions of dollars for someone else to go to Mars. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it themselves.
Right. But your plan
And they're not going to let somebody else pick who goes to Mars. The billionaire will pick. Whoever writes the check gets the money.
The idea was the world actually try and write the check, and then the world have a major play.
So that's called crowdsourcing. I mean, somebody, what's the biggest crowdsourcing project?
Biggest crowdsourcing project ever done.
With Vikings.
I suggest it's orders of magnitude, not one order. It's orders of magnitude, many orders of magnitude.
Taxation?
No, that's
not crowdsourcing?
the traditional one. That's not crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing is people voluntarily give.
Oh, okay. I have a different definition of volunteering.
If you get government agencies in it, they're not going to send.
I thought we were volunteering.
Right. So it's fun. There's things that are just not realistic.
Okay, so I guess you're in the it's not feasible camp.
No, it's not politically and economically feasible. I'm not saying it's not technically. It might be technically feasible. I'm saying no one, if you can think about the people who give the money, they're not going to pick the Mars One people. They're going to pick whoever they want.
It's a small component of the total funding model that we've had planned, but it's a high-level plan. So anyway, my question was, we get a lot of criticism, and it's kind of hard to navigate sometimes because it comes from so many different angles.
Right.
It starts with uninsurable. It starts with you don't have a launch license, but it starts with SpaceX. They don't understand the whole commodity as a service type thing.
Elon's going to pick who goes to Mars.
Yeah, basically. Well, he already has. They already talked about, what's the right percentage of NASA and SpaceX astronauts.
Right.
And they have spacesuits. And
if NASA's giving money, NASA's going to pick their astronauts, right? They're not going to, so
but SpaceX is trying to finagle.
No, I think it's great in the aspect that it's fun and it gets a lot of thinking in the public about going to Mars, and so many people want to go to Mars.
But in the same vein, your mission is fun because you're going to have astronauts on the surface of the moon, and someone has to pick them. You're going to have to go through the exact same criticisms.
No, someone will pick. I don't say who picks.
Okay. But you have technologies right in your plan, your 100-page report, which Paragon did a 65-page report for us, so I'm assuming the level of detail is approximately similar.
I don't know about the Paragon.
Okay, so Paragon, I know Barry Finger, right, so Barry Finger was next up fast during the debate, and maybe we didn't present our case as effectively as someone might say, compared to the MIT students. But
so I just got here an hour and a half.
Oh, okay, so you missed the debate. There was a debate. Okay. I think it was okay in terms of what debates are for, but no point was really proven on the other side, I don't think, personally. Anyway, the students basically said that it's not feasible. Bassalandra saying that based on their definition of what they were expecting from Mars One in terms of the plan, that Mars One doesn't have a plan because it's such a high-level plan that they can't do an analysis.
Right.
So, and that feasibility can't be proven, or that it's not feasible, and they've definitively proven it, which I don't see how they did that. Anyway, and then Mars One's opinion is that it's a strategic plan and not a concrete, it's not a tactical plan, right? We don't know the glove size because we're not there yet.
Right.
We're in the very left-hand corner of the schedule, and you're expecting us to be...
I'm completely convinced that smart people in Mars One, they can come up with a technically feasible plan.
Okay. So
my issue is I don't see how you could come. That's a solvable problem.
Sure.
I don't see how you solve that somebody else writes the big checks and lets you choose who gets to go to Mars. Well, the person who writes the checks chooses.
Right.
Of course, but it's also not the major component. If someone were to fully fund the whole thing, then of course it would be a major component of funding. But in terms of the plan, there are other...
They're going to start their own version of Mars One. Richard Branson doesn't let somebody else choose who goes up on Spaceship One. He has his own process, right?
And that's why there's a documentary that will be a source of funding. There'll be the IP intellectual property sources. There'll be future, you know, if you look long term, once the colony is there and established, assuming that's feasible, right?
Okay,
Yeah, I know, but assuming that's feasible, then the colony can create self-sustainment because Jamestown, just if you look at Jamestown, the London company isn't still financing.
I'm going to sell the ticket to whoever writes the biggest check, not to somebody who wants marketing.
more and more engaged in what we're
So I'm just trying to address the feasibility of it when people
We'll talk
critique
about
it,
that right now.
and it is technically feasible.
Right, and I do business development.
Because
Because I was.
it's almost like you have to make the mission happen, right? You would have to make your mission happen to satisfy these criticisms that they're weighing against us, I think unfairly. But if you were the Apollo project, according to their definitions, you would be a failure, even though you've already landed on the moon,
Right.
because you haven't properly tested all the vehicles and your plan was so high level until it actually happened that you can't go backwards from
it's
the
your
end state
fault. I
to
didn't come
proving
after you.
feasibility.
So did you have a question?
Travel agency.
I did. So, do you get criticism like that? I mean, do people look at your 2.8 billion that you don't have? Do people look at the feasibility of your technical solutions? Okay. So
That was the whole purpose. It's technically feasible. You can't
exactly. Okay.
So we put together a team that was absolutely technically credible. And we put, so we have all of them. So we're not being technical.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, I wish you good luck.
There's a few little nitsy. We had an error on one thing, the mass budget on the lunar lander. It was reported incorrectly in the study. It was actually, we used a 0.15 mass budget. 15% of the total mission is dry weight. And it was actually reported that it got in the report erroneously 10%. That was
trade
wrong.
shows.
So we're having people who
The
are
company that's doing space
criticizing it. So it's really neat
I don't know
things like
which
that.
does
No,
the
so
biggest
we had an error.
show.
Went back and looked at it. We had an error. But we had actually had.
Well, good luck with your mission plan, and thank you for your time.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, that's.
But anyway,
That's
anyway,
what I went to in Cyprus.